Hello, Merry Keebmas. First time here, Alex. Good to see you. Hi, Floops. How you doing? Is it Floops or Flops? Floops, I'm assuming. Toxic, what's going on? Sunday stream. Darling, what's going on? Covered in rain. Darling, yours is your prize winner thing. I think you're next up on my list to send out tomorrow. I had to wait for a little bit of boxes to come in because I ran out of cardboard boxes. And as you can imagine, things take forever to arrive. So, Nev, thank you so much for the tier 1.
Early stream Sundays, you love to see it smile.
Dude, I hope you like to see it. Is this your first time covering Maker's keyboards? I think I built one of Maker's keyboards a while ago, in which I enjoyed it. It was a plateless hot swap, I believe. But the nice thing about this one here is it is in stock, the one we're going to be taking a look at today. It shouldn't be an extremely long stream for that, but we're going to be talking about a few things in the meantime. First time here as well. Hello, everyone who's new. Also, Wave, what's going on? First ever stream I've caught live. I hope you enjoy it today. Oh, the Alexa? Yeah, I think I was the Alexa. Today's the Milan, though. Today's the Milan. U-Toy, what's going on?
Did you get your derivative yet?
I did.
Typing on the derivative right now. It's probably my favorite board in my collection, ATM.
So my derivative is going to be built on Christmas Eve. And I don't know. I'm still, man, like, I have no idea what the hell I want to put inside of it. I'm still going through that process in my head, you know? Yeah, I'm rocking the Bauer Light today. I needed something lightweight today because I've been cleaning my desk and just moving things around and like trying different desk pads. Not for today's stream, so I just want something quickly to pick up so I don't have to like struggle and hurt my muscles, you know? Hammer Brother, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well too. I can't wait for the derivative. That's gonna be a fun build. I might be going Browns on PC for derivative. Tried and true combo. Hey, you know what? That's a good combo. Dolus and Vertex Angle. Aren't those two very different layouts, Nev? That's a tough one to say. I think both are nice. I think I preferred the Angle just because like it's something I can actually like, I don't know, use and not feel terrible about myself when I suck at typing. The toxic relationship with that Grove, dude. You know what's really toxic? The fact that I actually do want to buy another one of these. Like, well, buy a first one. This one here was gifted to me, and I do want to buy a different color. But I know that I hate the fact that this slides around. That's how I know it's truly a toxic relationship with this desk pad. It truly is, man. Fresh cut. It's not so fresh right now. I washed it and styled it last night, and then I slept on it, and then now it's all fucked up. Oh my god, dude, Geoff.
Let's go.
Dude, let's go. Thank you so much for the tier 3, man. I appreciate that, dude. Thanks for all the subs today, guys. I really appreciate it. If you get some non-slip, yeah, I should honestly just get some. I have some, like, I think I have an Amazon gift card of like $10 that should suffice. Goo like World of Goo 2? Why does that sound so familiar? What is that from? Early Alex stream? Nice and early today, Seafoam. Nice and early. There's a hotline you can call for toxic relationships. Yeah, I can imagine me calling that about a desk pad. So, a few things that I want to address. Some stuff might, oh my god, Simon. Hello, Simon. How are you? A few things I want to address. Thank you so much for the raid, Simon. So, number one, I want to talk about two very serious things. Number one is, I want to make this clear about how I feel about some people who decide to design keyboards and then vendor keyboards. I think it's an issue that's still prevalent in the hobby, and I've spoken out about it in the past. But here's the thing, right? And I think this is just a reality with anything. You can be great at designing a keyboard. In fact, you can be the best designer of a keyboard I have ever seen in my entire life. It doesn't make you a good vendor. So with that being said, guys, if you guys are ever going to be designing a keyboard or running anything, I want you to take into consideration that sometimes people are good at one thing and not good at another, all right? And you don't have to be good at both. But I think understanding that being a designer does not equal being a vendor is important to. I expect a gator kiss. I got you. Is important to realize, right? And where I'm going with this is kind of like with everything, where like you can be. Just be cautious about what you guys are doing, right? With extra sexy. I don't have the one you have though, Simon. Is that a merino wool desk pad? It is, but it slides around a lot. I know, I need a soft Ron. You keep telling me every time you point it out I need a soft Ron. No tongue? That's after hours. Ron's so lucky. Get vendors into it and get help. Yes. So where I want to go with this is, if you guys are designing something, don't feel free to reach out to a vendor. Or an established vendor. I know there's the example of Mex & Co, but we'll just look at things like Novel Keys and some other good brands that have done great stuff. If you need to take a little bit of a hit on some profit because you've designed some stuff and you want someone who's experienced in shipping and customer service to deal with things, trust me when I tell you that is a great thing to have. It's not only about longevity, it's just about like reputation. Is like there's so many things that come into play by just trying to like realize that tackling everything is not humanly possible. And again, even outside the designer standpoint, this even goes with people that I've seen in the hobby deal with commissions and a bunch of other things in the hobby too, when it comes down to like servicing things. There are people who have, like, I've heard horror stories about people's products being tied up with, you know, build commissions and stuff like that forever. And then and it's just like they never get their stuff back, or it takes like months and months and months and half of it's not good. Same thing goes with that. Sure, you can probably build your own keyboards very well, but that doesn't mean you have like the knowledge or know-how or even want to do logistics for shipping people's boards back and getting things, you know, out. Flickering camera? My camera's flickering? I don't see it flickering. Are you sure? Better deal in the long term. Concentrate on your force and call people who can deal in on their weakness. Yes, exactly, right? I'm here to be a normal human being in chat today. 0 to dude, thank you so much. I appreciate you. There was like a green flicker. Oh. It could have been just an error or something. Aesthetic, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Toaster, thank you so much for the prime. So I just want to point that out because I feel like I've mentioned this, maybe not as like tough, but like I think I'm speaking to the wrong audience when it comes to this, and I have told people countless times who have come to me for advice, you don't need to be a one-man show. In fact, it's probably not good to be a one-man show. Don't be afraid to talk to other people and get help, you know, like when it comes to the business you're trying to run or anything, right? It's a community at the end of the day. You don't need to be the only person who succeeds in that mention as well, right? So get a second opinion. Yeah, or a second opinion, whatever. Time for me to eat. Take care. Thank you again, Simon, for the raid. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, Alex, have you ever considered doing a top keyboard video or stream? I did it one year, but then I kind of vowed to never do it again. It's great for picking up people to watch. Like, people will watch it and people will like... but I have learned lists in this hobby are like the worst thing ever, right? Lists are stupid because lists only ever piss people off, and no list is going to be completely correct. Like, there's no objectively correct list, unfortunately. So it's all preference at the end of the day too. It'd be just an entertainment video, but nobody takes that as that, right? Nobody does. So one thing is, there's huge difference between making a custom keyboard for you only and making custom keyboards which you are selling. I agree with you there, Dot. Totally. I agree. Self-vending only really makes sense for small runs. I agree with that as well. Or if you have a team, if you start a team and then you're also designing and having a team do it, I get that. But I'm talking about a single individual in most cases, right? Your list is the correct list. Yeah. Small, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate you, dude. So that's the number one thing I wanted to talk about today. Obviously, there are exceptions to every rule, but I would say that if you guys are purchasing something and you realize it's, you know, a big purchase from someone who's doing a one-man show operation, and they don't have a lot of experience, Just be cautious. And for anyone who is maybe listening to this who is a designer, be more diligent and realize that you're like, not one single person can be good at everything. Everyone has their strengths and their weaknesses, and that's an okay human thing to have. The second thing I want to talk about is, bro, I got the Discord update on my phone. That thing is absolute wildly trash. That is the worst update I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. I am like struggling to navigate the damn app. No, I still have the new app. It's legit so bad. Discord app is fine. It's so bad, dude. Thanks, Neff. Agreed. Thoughts in the queue. Did they revert it? Because I still have the new one. You can go back. It's the appearance set. You can go back? Dude, whose idea was it to do that, bro? Like, the new app is ass. It's so bad. I believe so. Okay, I have to look for that afterwards. Like, I was going through messages today, and then I'm like, wait, how do I do this one thing that was so simple before? And then it's like, it's a task to do half this stuff now. I heard they're getting a lot of backlash on it. Yeah. And there are exceptions to the rule. There could be people who are good at everything, but I mean, the other thing to all of this conversation is there's always going to be bad actors in the world. Like, there's always going to be bad people. People who literally just don't give a fuck and they're selfish, right? So, unfortunately, you can't weed out those people all the time. Some people are just good at pretending, right? So, some people are very good at pretending that will make it seem like, actually, simple terms is some people are great at gaslighting. That's all. The Milan is in stock, yeah. The one we're doing today. I've done a few Maker keyboards. Maker's been in the hobby doing keyboards for, I feel like, quite a while now. I think most of the stuff Maker Keyboards has done has been in stock. This is, I think, my second. I've done a few client builds. I think this is my second time looking at a Maker keyboard. So, Concrete, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. Thank you.
Nice to see you taking a look at Milan. Used it as my main workstation board for several months before switching it up. Really neat board.
Yeah, it's definitely a nicer looking keyboard in terms of like bezel width and stuff. It's not known to give updates on GBs. Have they ever? Was the Alexa 65 and took forever on the Alexa 65 GB? Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I'll push for as well, like for every vendor possible. And this has been like conversations I've had in person. Where did I put the keyboard box? Oh, right here. Updates are very important. Updates don't cost you anything. Updates are really good. Just update things. It's not that difficult to do. If people, like, I've heard people complain about updates. Oh, I took the keyboard out. What am I doing? It's not hard. I don't really know Maker's update process. I did peek in their Discord. It did seem like it was decent. But this is an in-stock board that seems to take 2 to 3 days to ship out. So it says on the website. So take it for what it is there. Yeah, I've always said that too. It is very much not difficult. Yeah. Updates should be the least of your concern. I think the best updates I've ever had with any group buy period ever is the bias decal. I like even getting updates of no update. I like just like a, hey guys, I have nothing to talk about today, but know that I'm updating you and I care about you guys. Like, that takes all of 5 minutes to do, right? It's not difficult. In the same breath, though, I'm glad this is going to be in stock, and I'm glad that more people are pushing for in-stock units. So it is good. Discord isn't backtracking? Oh, no way. They're not going to revert it? Oh, the original mobile layout is no longer available. What a silly move that is. What a silly move. I don't like waiting for weeks for an update. Yeah, I've had a few group buys which I've actually either sold my spot or I've asked for a refund. Like, hard stop, just been like, no, I need a refund on this. Like, I try to be as nice as possible on stream with things, because like, I don't, at the end of the day, I understand people are people, human beings are human beings. But I think in, again, the same breath, it's not that difficult. And like I said in Discord this morning, because I think the conversation was talking about parallel, if you as a vendor or designer use the excuse of, hey, I just don't want to update because I'm not good at it, I hate to say this, you should either hire someone who is good at it or perhaps not do what you're doing, because unfortunately, it is part of the job of updating people of what you're doing, especially when things don't fall in line with timelines. Like if things were falling in line with timelines, then fine, maybe you can get a little pass on that. But I'd say 99% of the times you need to update things. But this is the Milan here. I need to take this all apart. The stabs are already in there, but I'm not gonna lie, the stabs provided are a little under-tuned, so we're gonna tune them. Now, looking at the board, it's 275. There is 2 separate PCB layouts, which is, I'd say, maybe one of the more annoying things about this. Not a deal breaker at the end of the day, because it's either 7U or 6.25U. At least you get to choose that upon purchase. Now, it is going to be hot swap only, and then it is only going to come in the color black. It is a 18mm front height, which is super comfortable. I personally love that. And this is not only a lower front height, not the lowest, but it's 3.7 degree typing angle as well. I quite like 3 points. I like the 4 to 6 range. I've always liked 4 to 6. So I'm into that. I really liked the Bina 103 with that really low front height, but the 10 degree typing angle is definitely like a little bit tough sometimes. It's so nice, dude. But this also works with KBD 8X Mark II plates and PCBs, which is, I think, very, very good. One of the other things I've been talking about, not as much, but I probably should talk about it more, is the use of different parts. So 240 for 3 boards and 500 switches is really sus. Simon did the calculations and does not add up. I don't know. I have a hard time believing it too, but I'd like to see how that goes. I know which board you're talking about. I need to see that. I have no idea. I have not done the math. I have not looked into it too much. I know which board you're talking about. I don't know yet. I think that's the wrong conversation for today, unfortunately, just because I don't think we're on that yet, and I don't have proper knowledge about like the whole thing behind that board. What are other people's preferences here for spring swapping? Dude, I love 56. 56 long springs, the best. Did the Lubin film spring swap for my first batch of Hyperglides finally? Ooh, it took a long time for 108 switches. I mean, it makes sense. You did the works to everything, so I hope you like them though. But this is going to be 275 for in stock, thin bezels on the side. So this is one thing I actually really like about this board. If you guys know me, I am a sucker for really thin side bezels. It's a very simplistic looking board too, so it's very, very basic in its shape here. And someone asked, why do people only do hot swap? I mean, I'll leave that up to purely preference at the end of the day. Like, if a designer only wants to do hot swap and not do solder, that's totally up to them. They might lose some people who might want solder, but let me tell you guys, I think us here in, dude, this is where it gets crazy. I also thought hot swap was not as popular. Talking with vendors and people who design keyboards, you would be surprised on how many hot swap PCBs sell in comparison to solder. So we can sit here and we can all sit here and be like, yo, why does everyone do, they don't sell, because they like logistically they don't sell in comparison to solder. So it's don't say they're normies. That's not nice. They just don't want to solder. Don't say stuff like that. That's just ridiculousness. They don't solder. So, but you would be surprised. You'd be surprised on how many people do not like soldering. Sonnet or Tomo, I'm a fairly experienced builder, so don't mind building either. Yeah, I mean, I have no issue building either too. I just personally think a little bit more like of myself goes into a board where I solder it versus hot swap, but I have no issue with either or. Ooh, MP, let's go. It just arrived. Here's the bottom of the board. It is, again, extremely simplistic. There is nothing happening really on the bottom. But there is an internal weight, which we'll take a look at. I'm a little sad that the internal weight isn't peeking through it all, but let's reserve that judgment until afterwards. Where did I put my... Bottom is boring. Yeah, the bottom is quite boring. On the topic of solder boards, solderwicks are a godsend. I need to pick some up. I need to resupply myself with a bunch of stuff. I am like totally running out. Is the community which likes it and which is why they offer it? Well, it's really popular. Like foamy boards are really popular with a lot of people. I think a lot of people also have to understand that, like, unfortunately, the little bubble that we're in for building boards is very, very, very small. And I think people need, like, people within this particular bubble of the hobby, like within the general hobby itself of just building keyboards, need to completely understand that that's a thing that only exists. I don't know, man. People need to broaden their senses and realize that, like, there's more people that exist in the hobby. I can tell this was done with Permatex. You want to know how I can tell this was done with Permatex? See this? I didn't do these stabs, by the way. This was done by the owner of the board. Well, so you can tell it was done with Permatex. It's okay. It's not going to affect the board at all, but I probably will open these up right now and clean them up. Or... yeah, I'll take out the wires to all of these and clean them up. The rest of the lube is fine, but let's clean up these wires. Let us clean these up. And there's the internal brass weight. And then I think as per most of the other maker boards, I've never quite liked this part, which I think can be resolved by using silicone. But these things just lay here, like these foam pieces, because you can go between... I believe different configs on this, if I remember correctly. That's how Permatex leak looks. Yes. This is Permatex leak on a PCB. Totally unrelated to the review of this keyboard, but that is literally how it looks. It looks like you had an unfortunate accident on the PCB. So let's take these off and redo these. Chaser, thank you so much for the prime. Also, Misfire, thank you before too. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you. The stabs had an oopsie. Yeah, Permatex is trash. It is so poopy. I've never cared for Permatex myself. It makes the PCBs look so gross afterwards. Yeah, I would stick to Loctite dielectric grease, or I would stick to BDZ. Random question, what are your thoughts on UV printed legends? I have no quarrels with them. BDZ all the way? I like BDZ, I just think it's a little too pricey. And then my other quarrel with BDZ, and I hope this makes sense to people because... I don't know, I feel like people have been getting really mad when I talk about budget-oriented things lately. But yes, BDZ can be more expensive, but I also feel like it is kind of messy at the same time, and people with less experience doing stabs might put BDZ in places they shouldn't. So it also comes down to an experience thing, and once you get BDZ in a place it shouldn't be, it becomes very sluggish. And again, some people's skill level does not need to use BDZ. BDZ is 100% worth. It is good. I like BDZ. I just don't use it because I think it's too expensive. And on top of that, like I mentioned, it is like if I happen to put it in the wrong area thing, then I don't like the build. Syringes are huge quality of life for lubing stabs. I don't know if people can use screw-in stabs without using a washer. You technically don't really need it on a hot swap PCB with no, I guess, parts intersecting, but I typically always use washers personally. Yucky. I do not like what happened. So the PCB does have 2 flex cut on it, which is not the end of the world as we've talked about in the past. I think I like PCBs with either none or one singular one. Someone mentioned in chat yesterday that they do feel like there is a bit of a sound difference when there's one flex cut versus no flex cut, and they prefer it with one flex cut. So again, we'll chalk this up to preference as well. Loctite is this. I have used Loctite for the last 2.5 years now, and Loctite dielectric grease does not, in fact, do this. Because I can open up any of my PCBs where I've used Loctite, and it does not do this. It does not settle either, because we'll take out this right now. I don't know how much Maker Keyboards ended up using in here, but you can tell that this is pretty much all gone. There's like nothing left on this. Nice. So that is one of the differences between using Loctite versus, what's it called? Loctite versus Permatex. Thank you, Freeze. I appreciate you, man. Loctite is usually known for threading stuff where it kind of glues. Dielectric is pretty universal. If the brand doesn't leak, then another probably won't either. I disagree. I think there's probably a different recipe, right? Whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's completely universal in its formula. It's just whatever Permatex has in their formula. 205 is also a dielectric grease. Is it considered one? A lot thinner than this stuff here. I'm gonna wipe down these wires and we'll redo one at a time here. I like WD-40. Nothing beats the guy that I saw on TikTok use Vaseline for his switches and his stabs. Nothing beats him. He is the alpha and omega. Does Vaseline legit question, does Vaseline disintegrate after a while? Does it just evaporate? Does it go away? Or is Vaseline, I don't know why I'm asking these questions, by the way. Just ignore me if you guys don't want to listen to this conversation. I'm just curious. Wait, dude was serious? Yeah, someone put Vaseline on. I don't know if they're serious. Probably not. They're probably doing it to get a reaction, as most TikTok videos, but is it flammable? Oh, I guess because it is petroleum based, right? Theoretically, Vaseline shouldn't evaporate. Vaseline is dissolving some plastics. Oh, shit. Again, I don't know anything about Vaseline. I really don't use it, period, so I had no idea. Damn. Yeah, so don't use Vaseline, people. God's Day? Thank you, Angel. Dielectric just means no current can pass through it, so lots of grease can be classified as dielectric grease. Ah, okay. Well, whatever this stuff is considered. Spark grease? Whatever you want to call it. Posture check? Oh, man. Sure you don't, Alex, babe. Okay, you know what? Just for the sake of argument, if you're a complete new designer, how do you pitch your design to vendors when you're completely new face with no reputation? I'm gonna say this from my perspective. Maybe people will have different perspectives here. If you're a new designer, what I would probably do, right? I would personally finalize my design by pitching my own money towards it. Right? So that includes, if I wanted to do something for the sake of being passionate about it, and I'll talk about a different aspect. I personally think you put all the money into perfecting your project. You get the samples made of it. You do IC checks, stuff like that. After you're done doing that, you go to a bunch of vendors, you show them the interest your board has, and you go, hey, can you please run this? I'd like to do whatever you want to do. Talk about your price point, whatever. That's not my responsibility to tell you what the price is at. That's how I would probably do it. I know there are some people who do only IC checks. So there's a lot of possible ways you can go down that route. Oops, wrong button. But that is the route I would probably take. Has done a lot of boards doing ICs and stuff for people. Yeah, ClickClack's been great for vendoring for a lot of people. They've been pretty decent for that stuff. Agree with Alex's take. Same with keycaps too, for the most part. Yeah, I think that's when you go and you show them. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that, by the way. Then you go show them, hey, this has interest, and I'd love to run this with you. Can you work with me? What I think is a mistake to do, which I see a lot of people do. A lot of people, they go, hey, I want to build a keyboard. I've never posted an IC. Can you run this? It just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. It's a matter of proving your board has interest, and you can prove that you're willing to invest either time and money. Not even so much money, because sometimes it might not even be a matter of that. Like, some people have only done an IC. But I think the best course of action for pitching your product is showing that you have a working design that functions, has interest, and showing that you have potential customers for that vendor. Yes, I do have, well, I hope I have some plans in building the CLS 360. I do hope I do. Well, I was speaking to Bruce about it this morning. I know you're already gone over it, but I probably missed it. How did the mode stabs rank up? Oh my God. I'm going to be honest, Kush. That whole conversation I had was so tame here on Twitch. But the moment that conversation about stabs and where I think stabs fall in place, I don't know if a lot of Simon's viewers are here, but did you know a lot of people just like, they despise cherry stabs? And people were getting like very, very upset with me about saying that I think cherry stabs are number one. And I think Simon thinks the same way. And yeah, people were just getting like stupid upset with me. And there were some like pretty crazy messages about how like cherry stabs are not the best stabs possible, and how actually, believe it or not, a lot of people considered stabies to be the absolute like end all and be all for stabilizers, which I think is crazy, because stabilizers are like, or stabies are pretty, not low per se, but like, I just don't think stabies are like the best choice. Yeah, I don't know. They have issues, some of them, so. Never in stock and pricey as fuck. Well, not okay. Even price aside, here's my problem with stabies. Is clients have reached out to me. People have reached out to me. Can you fix my stabilizers? Stabies, under certain circumstances, because of the tolerances, can bind. And how can I rate something highly or tell people to go buy something that potentially has a problem with some variety
for
of
the cherry lovers
stuff, right? Hey, thank you, Short. Appreciate the tier 1, man. So I don't know. I don't know the expectation. Like, why would I ever recommend anyone anything that has a potential to fail? That was pretty much my argument, and it just seems like people were not having it. But yeah, I've never made a video that had more interaction in both a negative and positive manner than just simply putting some stabs in order of what I like to use. Very interesting conversation. I think the mode stabs are basically more well-priced Duroc stabs. That's basically how I feel about the mode stabs. And I like Duroc stabs, even though there are tons of people who hate them. I have never had an issue with a Duroc stab personally, with the way that I lube stabilizers. So take it for what it is. Sorry about bringing that back. Oh no, it's okay, Kush. I thought it was an interesting topic. So handsome. Thank you, Scotty. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude. So handsome and cute. Oh man. But yeah, we're doing the Milan today. I actually had a lot of people excited for me to take a look at this today because they've purchased it already. This keyboard's been out for a little while. I don't remember the exact amount of time, but it has been out for a little while. It is in stock as well. And a lot of people were excited for me to take a look at it because they're really enjoying their Milan. So, luckily, we're going to take a look at it today. I broke down and bought some stabies recently, and I just can't manage to get rid of some at spacebar tick in one of my keyboards. Not sure if they're the best option to help now. They might be. I'm talking about like in the rare case that they're going to have that binding issue toxic. But the problem is it's still a case that happens. The Neo 80? The Neo 80, I think I'm covering in the new year. Everyone's been asking about that board. Everyone has. It's kind of weird to hate Duroc stabs. They're kind of the least offensive stabs I can think of. Bro, I think the same thing, man. I've tried the M1 stabs. I try to look at it from a Canadian's perspective too. Oh yeah, that's the message. That's the message, Niku. That one there is one of the messages. I've gotten a few. Some of them I had to delete because they were pretty bad in terms of name calling and stuff. Most of the time ticking is from a bad wire. Not always. Sometimes it's even from a loose stem on a keycap. There's a few variety of reasons why it could tick. I've seen also people who've sent in keyboards to fix who said there was ticking, and they've used 1.6 millimeter PCB or stabs on a 1.2 millimeter PCB, and the ticking is just literally the plastic going up and down on the. They did everything right. Stabs are tuned to perfection, but they just literally just used the wrong stabs. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why something could tick. It doesn't always come down to wire. I'm not gonna lie, kind of hoping there's 810E extras down the road. Yes, there should be. I want to say there is. I think there will be. The thing with Duroc for me is that I had to retune them more often than other stabs. This is the other beautiful thing about boards, right? Everyone's experience is going to be a little different than the next. Some people might find a lot of love using C3s. Some people might be like, yo, the stab for me is actually TX. Others might say it's cherry. But the beautiful thing about doing all this stuff is we're all going to be a little different and have different experiences and different mileages with our stuff. I am not an affiliate with Apex, but I can say that Apex has been around for what feels like forever. But you can I would just purchase from them. They've been great. They're a great vendor. But I appreciate you looking out for me too, man. What's up, Big Bezel Bob? How you doing, man? Most underrated keyboard, one that doesn't get hype at all. Oof. Yo, these questions are tough sometimes, man. What's underrated right now? Tempo used to get hyped. Tempo's not really that old, though. I feel like the Tempo has a certain genre of people who really like it. And it also is a more niche layout and niche product. I don't really... TGR Jane? Okay. Niku, I agree with you. Cherry, for me, is still the cheapest and one of the easiest to tune. Actually, Stabies are technically very easy to tune, but it's just the issue of them binding sometimes, and then issues with thicker plates and stuff like that. Oh my god, why am I struggling with this? What is this screw being weird for? Alex, do you know if you can build a Salvation plateless? You can. But bro, let me tell you, the Salvation plateless is not for the faint of heart. That thing there is like, if you use that, I think the PCB has one flex cut in it. That thing there is like the bounciest thing I have ever typed on. You have to enjoy that typing experience. It is a totally different typing experience. I enjoyed it for like a month, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I need the plate back in this. And then I ended up putting the plate back in mine. So it is it's a beast, bro. It's a different beast. If you're into that, you're into it. It's interesting though. Most of Hex's boards, dude. I think Hex boards or the Sungle. That board there was also pretty underrated too. I feel like that didn't get hype at all, and it was such a good little 60%. Oh my god, this stabilizer. Martingale? Did the Martingale do well? The Martingale was just, I don't remember the price point of the Martingale, but the attractive features for stuff like that is really typing experience, which is hard to market sometimes, right? Didn't hear anything after the video you made. It's such a good board, right, Kylan? It's such a good board. You have one, right? Didn't I build one for you? I'm pretty positive. It looked nice on the inside, but outside was way too clean for me. That happens with a lot of boards recently. A lot of boards are pretty on the inside, like very cool, very like neat, and then people just forget about the outside of the keyboard, which truly is like the part you're looking at more often than not. So it's curious why that keeps happening. Hex has a 6C V2 coming, by the way. It uses the same mounts as a 3C V2. And daughterboard along with the long weight on the back. Big fan of that keyboard. So that's something to look forward to. I personally love the Gios 60 Round 1. Oh, Bull's a fun designer. I hope the new one, the Revival, does really well. That board there is... Actually, I saw that board has like a sussy internal weight that they're offering. Whew. They had a proto at the Singapore meetup. Oh, did they? Would you consider Ori keyboards to be like not hype though? I feel like they're kind of hype. I've seen that weight. Yo, that was I don't even know what to say, bub. I really don't know what to say, man. That was something else. Okay, why is this one screw? There we go. Weird. How am I doing? I'm doing well, man. How about you, Tommy? Ori boards and artisan cases are overpriced as hell, bro. So, I think pricing is a very delicate conversation in this hobby sometimes. I think a board, if it's designed like, if it has like a cool new look to it, or just a look to it that is like very unique of a certain designer, and you're willing to pay that designer's cost, then you do you, right? In the same breath, you know, I do think there are some boards that feel like they have no soul to them, and then people want to charge a lot. But again, like that could be someone else's cup of tea. So pricing is always a little bit of a touchy subject in a luxury hobby like this, because we have to be honest with ourselves. This is a luxury hobby. So again, it's a very touchy subject, and it's one that I try to understand that fine line with, you know. Oh, I remember that board. Yeah, that was the one with the waffle weight Niku, I believe. Ooh, I dropped one of my switches. I need to get that right now. It's a luxury hobby, right? It is essential as food. I think a lot of us, including myself, forget about that sometimes. One sec, my switch dropped. That is indeed a luxury hobby. Pricing is a lot of the time subjective, and I know this is a topic of controversy, but you know, not everything is going to be priced to everyone's preferences at the end of the day, right? Some people might get a board and they might be like, well, you know, like I feel like the material needed for this or the level of effort, and you're entitled to think that, right? Get what you like with the money you can. I actually really agree with Niku there. I do think you should get what you like with the money you can afford to spend. And it's why I've never really touched upon like value of keyboards in doing reviews. And a lot of people get mad at me when I don't talk about value, because I need everyone to like stop and think for a second. The value thing about like, is this worth the money? And I know sometimes we use those buzzwords and stuff like that. If it's worth it for you, then do you. But remember, when you're thinking of the topic of, is this worth the money? In my opinion, there's a lot of enjoyment factors that come into play, just tons of things that come into play here. Oh, so we got some different facing switches here. But remember, you can totally just go and spend $15, maybe less, on a Dell entry-level desk keyboard, whatever it is, those membrane boards, and still get the same function being put out of the keyboard. So value is always tough when you can be reminded that you can buy something that's only 10 or 15 bucks that does the exact same thing. Now, again, I do think there's a fine line. I find that argument flawed. Well, that's kind of where I'm going to get into aesthetic. I get there's enjoyment. There's like a hobby to be had here. There's like different switches to use. There's slightly different typing angles, stuff that makes you more comfortable. But from a strict, like, what am I getting for my dollar? I personally feel that if like you want to go down to basics, then you just need to get the basics. But I totally get why you think it's flawed. I also think there's some flaw to it as well, because there's tons of other arguments you can make, like enjoyment, community, stuff like that, like stuff you get when you're purchasing a board that you don't actually think about, right? Totally understand that. But there are some people like adamant on like cost of material and how like people should price things and stuff like that, you know? In the current market, do you think the Bauer Light can compete? How can I word this? I think it already competed. You know? Like it already sold out. So I think it can compete. Where I think the Bauer Light was catching a lot of slack was people who just hating on it for like no reason. People had in their mind that a keyboard was not worth it because it was injection molded, and there was a lot of stupid comments like, yeah, exactly what Not Moxie just said, like too little too late comments. And people, and this is what I mean, like you gotta think outside of your bubble sometimes, right guys? Like, including myself, man, I do this all the time. I'm like probably the worst offender of it, right? But like, people want different things than other people, right? Like people want a lighter keyboard. People want the Bauer aesthetic. People want like the injection molded look. And some people are spending a little bit more money on certain things because they want that certain thing, right? So everyone's different. There are basics that should include value. Throw money at something or buy a minimum thing, not worth having the conversation then. Things like the Vector, which are dumb expensive without a niche. I agree with you there, man. You know what's funny about that aesthetic? Were you here for like the few streams? I still can't figure out why that board's that price. I don't get it. But I agree with you. I do think there is topics of like, okay, how much effort went into this? I agree. Totally agree. There is nuances to the whole topic. You are completely right there, my friend. If Bauer Light was wireless, it would have been kind of insta-buy. Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys using wireless boards right now? Again, small sample size to, I don't know how much people are watching right now, but maybe a smaller sample size to kind of like gauge interest. I'm not. I have a few boards that are wireless, and I love that wireless is becoming more mainstream, but I'm just not. Like, I have no interest in wireless, man. It does not do anything for my desk. I am not moving around the house with a keyboard, so. But again, I appreciate that more people are going wireless because it seems to be in huge demand right now. Sorry if I miss your messages, guys. Feel free and just like type again if I miss it. Got a $425 budget. What do I get? Shit, there's a lot of boards for that. What's your layout? What preference layout do you want? Not a fan of the Bauer, but Bauer Light is better than Cyberboard. The Cyberboard has its own like group of people who like love the Cyberboard. Love it. What is your guys' aesthetic lately? My aesthetic lately that I've been kind of going for is like, okay, hear me out. I keep dropping switches. I like simple top frames where the board is just super simple with super skinny bezels. And I do like having a nice little accent on the side or back of the keyboard. Low front height, and then not the end of the world, but I do like having something on the bottom of the keyboard too. But for me right now, my top ones are simple top, low front height, skinny side bezels, something on the side, like a cool side profile. Chonky bezels are my thing right now. Love that for you, dude. I went through a chonky bezel phase too. Sounds like the Elysia. The Elysia was, I think I told No Num Nums, one of the nicest looking Alices I've ever used. It is so pretty. Cherry Lip. Cherry Lip's kind of nice. I know this board kind of fits the bill for the top frames that I kind of like, minus the side profiles. But see this really thin bezel here? I love that. This is like perfect for me. This is usually what I talk about when I say I like thin side bezels. So pretty. It's like very elegant look. Oh dude, the Eden looks sick. Curvy side angle in front. Yeah, that's a nice one too. F18X. F18X is nice. Ended up putting the trigger on a vertex angle, Alex. Might get the duelist anyways. Those are two, you know, can I ask Nev? Those are two very different boards, you know? Like what prompted you to pick those two boards to pick from? Simple rectangle with high angle lately. Yeah. Simple's kind of underrated. People think Simple's boring and Simple's like not a fun custom to build, but like sometimes Simple with good structure to it, or just like, I don't know, just something classy is always nice. Always looks good on a desk. They gave away a spot for the Susei. The Susei. That is another board that... So there are two boards in my collection that people... I don't really... By the way, guys, I don't really have a whole, like... little story for you guys. I had someone come over and they took photos of all my keyboards. And, what's up, Crunch? How you doing, man? And I think they were kind of surprised that I don't really have a whole lot of, like, super rare keyboards. Which is, like... I don't know, it sucks sometimes thinking, like, I thought I had a cool collection of things, but I really don't. I got like 2 or 3 rare keyboards. And like when I say rare, I mean like I got a private group by a unicorn and I got like a moon tower. And this is probably as rare of the things that I have. But I appreciate you guys saying certain things I have. Appreciate you guys. But the Susei is one of the boards that I have in my collection that I don't really think is like incredibly rare. And it's a prototype. It's not even like, I don't know if it differed from the final run at all. But that's one of the boards in my collection that people like ask me if I can sell it to them. And I'm guessing it's just because it's the name on it, Susei. There are a lot of Susei fans. Hello, Alex. What's up? How you doing? It's still my grail, the Susei? The Glare TKL? I didn't get one of those. I kind of do wish I got one, though. I really liked your top mount build of the KBD 8X Mark III. The weight on the black looks awesome. Dude, I also much preferred the top mount version of that. I'm glad I did a rebuild of that. So, quick count. I have 65 boards in my collection and 5 more on the way. God damn. Holy. So do you keep the boards that you really like and attempt to sell off the rest? I can actually confidently say, with the exception of 2 boards that I purchased myself back in the day, one being the Key 65, and the other one being an old Gray Studios Space 65 back in the day. I purchased like a whole bunch of them. I've only sold 2 boards, and I'm very honest about what I've sold. And those are to close friends. That is literally it. Never to random people. Everything else has been given away. Even stuff that I have purchased. Even like silly purchases. Like back in the day, I bought a Key Cult for $2,000 when they were like super hype, and I was very irresponsible. And I've given that away as well. I don't want to sell. Oh my God, Saint, thank you so much for the 5 tier 1s, man. But I don't really want to sell anything. Because I don't want to start making a. Well, I shouldn't say I don't want to. I just don't want to make it a habit of like selling things. I'd rather just like give it away to clients, or not clients, but people, rather than making it a habit of like, I am money first. I don't want to do that. Key Cult had a very certain hype a while ago. It's gone now. So if you're newer to the hobby, I don't know how long you've been in the hobby for, Niku, but like, if you haven't in the hobby for a little bit, you probably won't get it. But back in the day, there was kind of like this like, you know, sense of like wanting to own. Radar, thank you so much. And Saint, thank you so much, man. Oh, Saint, I need to DM you later today, by the way. I have some news for you, my friend. Thank you so much, Saint. I appreciate that, dude. 2018 Key Cult was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Thank you, Saint. Oh my gosh. Really appreciate that, man. Key Cult, TGR, and UTD are stuff people hype over.
God damn, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god, Saint! Oh my god, dude. I agree with why not, man. Oh my god. That is crazy, man. Thank you, dude. Modern materials, stone or concrete? Concrete. I'm the concrete version. I like the concrete one of that, but both are nice, Muggy. Thank you, Saint. Really appreciate you, man. I feel like 165 is better sound-wise. Yes. The 165 was the nicer looking Key Cult, in my opinion. Ooh, these are nice switches. I think Maker Keyboards did these. Let me see, what was the exact spec of these switches again? Maker, if you're watching right now, these are really nice switches you did. They're MX Blacks 205G0, 55 gram. Oh, that's why I like these. 55 gram slow springs and filmed. That's why I really like these. Dude. Has a little bit of that character going on in the switch. Good spring weight. 62 grams yours. I like my 55s. 55s and 58s are like sick. No, the PCB is pretty limited. So if your idea is to get this board to fiddle around with layouts, this is not the board. I would not buy this board if your idea is like to fiddle around with a particular layout. It is as basic as they come with TKLs in terms of layout. I think that was even kind of my criticism last time I did a Maker Keyboards keyboard. I think the only thing I really had was I think that there should be like a more diverse PCB. But again, I'm not going to get super upset with that because I would rather have a PCB that I just know works rather than something that doesn't. I can't split backspace my TKL. Yeah, I don't know how popular split TKLs are either. I do wish that this had a option for step caps, and I would have liked to not have to buy a separate PCB in the event I wanted to change the bottom row. That's it. I think that's really my only criticism for the PCB here. But other than that, pretty simple. Now we got the rest of the case going on over here. So again, to go over some stuff, it's a 3.7 degree typing angle, which I hate it or love it. I actually really like low typing angles, so...
Damn, dude.
Saint! Oh my god, Saint, love you. I hope you're doing really well today, bro. I hope you're doing the best ever. Thank you, Saint. This is also using a 18mm front height, 3.7 degree typing angle, and then it supports KBD 8X Mark II plates and PCBs. I don't know if it'll support the Mark III stuff though. Maker, are you in chat? I think you sent the message you if I had any questions, or if you're watching right now. Do you know if this will support Mark III stuff, or is it too new the Mark III stuff? Because I don't know if you've attempted it with Mark III stuff. Thank you again, Saint. I really appreciate the subs, bro. Jeez, man. I'm glad you received the stickers. Dude, Cass, they're so funny, man. That was such a silly sticker. I put it on my shelf over there, but... How's the build going? It's going pretty good so far. Who's vendoring this? Maker Keyboards. Maker Keyboards has been around for, I'd say, a little while. I don't remember exactly when they started doing stuff in this hobby, but... some people were telling me they did have a little bit of a slower, I guess, pre-order phase or a group buy phase with one of their original keyboards, but for the most stuff that they're offering right now, everything seems to be in stock. So if that seems to be a nicer thing that they're doing right now. Actually, I don't even know what Maker's name is in Discord or in Twitch. Okay, so Maker said no KVD 8X Mark III support because Mark II and Milan use the same onboard USB-C. Okay, so this will only be Mark IIs, which is still cool. I don't know if KVD Fans is planning to get rid of those things, but cool that there's some other support for this. I really like that, just in case you need something or want to try different things. Now, let's see. I also have a build guide. So now you could either do top mount or gasket, if I recall. And I think this will sound nicer in gasket. I think so. I think my criticism right here would be, I know that these don't really have an adhesive to them and you're supposed to like lay them down. In theory, these shouldn't move around anywhere because of just the friction that is being put there. I like the idea of having a more modular system in here, but I think something like a silicone sleeve, or I can't really say silicone sleeve would be the best option for that, but just a sleeve of some sort might help the idea of these sliding around and help with the build experience a little bit. But top mount, best mount, I know it's one of the nicer ones for sure. Again, my favorite top mount config is 100% always going to be PC top mount. Love it. I think we try the gaskets first, and then I'll try top mount. What do you guys think? Or do you guys want to hear top mount first? Wait, did I even get the screws for the top mount? Brass top. Ooh. Brass top mount. Oh yeah, I got the screws. Is something else, man. Brass top mount. I don't know if I do that. I don't know if I do brass top. Me personally, I just don't think I don't think I can get used to that. Greetings, Mohawk man. Hey, what's up, dude? Thoughts on HE PCBs popping up more recently? HE PCBs? What do you mean by that? I have a brass top mount board. It's very stiff. Today's the first time I've swapped keycap sets on my keyboard, and the difference is crazy. Yes. Hall effect. Oh, okay, my mistake. My experience with Hall effect switches is very limited, guys. I've used a Wooting keyboard. I didn't like the sound of it. I can understand the use case of it. I have no use for it. That is pretty much the summed up version of my experience with, for example, the Wooting keyboard. I have no use case for it. I can see where it would be advantageous to use it. I just don't need it. So, I agree with Moxie. I do feel like Hall effect switches have been sensationalized a little bit. I do think Wooting is kind of leading the pack though with software at the very least. And I do think from all my hardcore gamer friends, they actually, who have commissioned boards through me, and I hope this is not a reflection of my building abilities, but they all end up using their customs for everyday use, but they're still gaming on a Wooting. I think there's something about them setting certain settings on the board and them loving that. So it is what it is. I have no use for it. I don't know if the everyday person would have a use for it, but... So here inside is the internal weight, by the way. I don't think this is clear coated. See, this is where I would have loved to have this on the back. This isn't clear coated, so this would have been like amazing to patina. It's raw? Hell yeah. This would have looked sick. Like it should be. Bro, I actually hard agree with you, man. DIY patina, this would have looked absolutely insane. All right, let's do gasket first, and then we'll do top mount afterwards. Or you know what? Let's do top mount first. Fuck it. Then we can swap. Speaking of tactiles, Alex, I know you don't normally dig tactiles, but you should try Designer Studio. I have white jades, actually. I have a whole bushel full of them. Was there one extra switch? Did I miss a switch somewhere? Oh, maybe I did. All right, let's top mount this guy. There isn't a standard for Hall effect switches, so your Keychron HH might not work with your Wootings. Oh, really? I'm a tactile gal. Yeah, I haven't quite fallen in love with tactiles again. I will be the first to admit, I do, I think it's just really the sound that comes from them. I do notice it's usually a slight bit deeper, and I've noticed myself leaning towards that higher pitched sound, so I picked up clickies. Clickies are fun though. I actually don't mind using clickies, believe it or not. I really don't. I want to try linears, but I don't want to loop another 100 switches. I get you. I get it. So small little gripe with this from a design perspective. Although it doesn't really matter in the long run, I guess. Just because this is supposed to be a double mounting style. There is some points of mount, or mounting points rather, underneath the spacebar. Could lead to a stiffer typing experience. I'm going to try not putting the screws in first. And if worst case scenario I need them, I'll screw them in. Just tried to fast forward the stream to hear the sound test. What is wrong with me? Fuck, man, am I that boring? Come on, dude. Oh. God damn. I just got told by Dynamics I'm boring. He's like, shut up, Alex, just get to the sound test. Sorry, you're good. I'm just joking around, bro. You lube guy has cut down my looping time by a lot. Thanks, Alex. Now I can loop 70 switches in under 2 hours. I'm glad, man. I'm super glad that you're finding that it's just easier now. Fuck, maybe I do like the top mount a lot. I don't know. We'll see how much we like the top mount in this. Thanks, Sky. I appreciate you. Oh, guys. Sky's name reminded me of this. I finished Clone Wars animated series. Holy shit, what a ride. That last season was so good. I think all the seasons were very fun to watch. The last season was so good, bro. So I did finish yesterday. I started watching it again at around 10 p.m. yesterday. I was like, you know what? Like, I had a nice, like, slow day today. I must end off the day watching the last season of Clone Wars. I went to bed at like 3:30 in the morning because I had to finish it all, man. Holy smokes, was that season so good. Now gonna watch, I don't know if I should watch Bad Batch or Rebels. I might watch Bad Batch first. But holy crap, that was so good. Clone Wars? It's the Star Wars animated series. I was like getting low-key kind of emotional towards the end. It was crazy. Alright, I did get sent some keycaps, but let me just... Oh, that's why there's extra switches. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. Can I use... Oh, I just hit a hotkey. Cool. We're gonna use some GMK key ups to this, just because I like GMK personally. I'm gonna build this to like kind of my preference as well, just so I can get a sense of what I normally like. That sounds so good. The Bauer's a nice sounding keyboard, man. The Bauer Light, you gotta like it. As for keycaps for this, I don't know what I want to use. I don't know. Perhaps I use. What do you guys think I should use? Actually, I don't even know. Maybe I was thinking Metropolis. Beige, please. I don't really have a beige GMK set. I still need to buy one. I'm very bad. I need to buy one. We could use Boneyard if we want to do something simple. Boneyard maybe. Monokai material maybe. 2Z I just used yesterday. I don't know if we go the 2Z route again. Miklon. Yeah, we could do Miklon. I'm always down for a Miklon. I think Miklon's on my Ori right now, but I'm down to switch it. Naughty Alex. Do I have to send you a Honey Beige set? Can I still buy them? Can I still buy Honey Beige? I'll buy it for you guys. We could do Miklon. I'm down. I'm always down for Miklon. It looks like Miklon is... I don't have that base kit, Conan. I don't remember the name of the other base kit. I only have the colorful one. We could do Polybius. Polybius does look nice on this too. Probably will look nice. Let's do Miklon then. Olivia? We could try Olivia. Olivia is kind of a classic set for this. I haven't used Olivia in a long time, but I think my Olivia set It's on a keyboard that's on display in the front, and I'm 100% positive it's dusty as fuck. Will this have a Win keyless top? Not as far as I saw. It will have a 7U variant. This is the 6.25U, but as far as I know, there won't be a Win keyless top. All right, I think we use Milan then. Let me grab the Milan set. And I'll take it off my Ori keyboard because I'm going to be sending my Ori keyboard to Mr. Spruce Cables to Cerakote anyways once he feels a little bit better. So I think it's good that I take it off because it's an excuse to send over this board. After I saw that limited edition Ori, I need that color. Well, something similar to it. I don't need that specific color, but Micah, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate that. Where's my switch puller now? I don't know the exact name. When Mr. Reagan's not feeling so great right now, but once he feels better, I think I'm going to talk to him about potentially going something like almost like that sand color or whatever that color you want to classify as, that bronze sand color. I think this will look nice with Milan. What is your favorite keycap set you own? It might be, Milan might be up there. Milan's really nice, but I think my all-time favorite set that I have in my collection is the first GMK group buy, or not group buy, keycap set that I ever bought. It was GMK Nautilus. I don't use it very often, but it holds, don't judge what I did to this keycap set. It holds a very special place in my heart. It'd be Nautilus. There's something, okay, I think I need to go in and screw the 2 screws because I can hear the plate rattling a little bit, but I'll do that here in a second. I don't know, there's just something nice about having a little bit of, not history per se, but like, it's like a little memory thing for me. Holds some memories for myself. Yeah. Bottom row doesn't sound too bad. I just need to go in and screw in that guy then. All right, easy peasy. Man, I really need to clean up this set. Any recs for a keycap black, gold, and gold sonnet? If you can somehow get your hands on GMK Lux, that might be good. Somehow. I don't know if GMK Lux is still available though. I do think though we can use some of the accents for this and have it look really cool. Like this. Ooh, the enter sounded pretty good. And then I think everything else just need to transfer over from this keyboard. I think we're good. No, caps lock is the only other one. Have you decided to check out the Neo 70? No. I asked about it. I inquired to see if I can get a little peeksies at it, but I was told that they didn't have any need for some reviews right now. Because I asked for it pretty late, and they already had like a very solid plan on marketing for the thing and reviews. But then they did offer if I want to take a look at the Neo 80. So we'll be looking at the Neo 80. Someone sent him a commission for it. Oh, which one? The 70? I do, again. I hate to keep bringing the same thing up over and over again. I really like thin side bezels. So this keyboard's already hitting the mark for me there. Actually, this might be a pretty, if this sounds good, this might be an easy recommend for some clients. Because a lot of people recently have been emailing me about like very simple looking keyboards. And I think I've been usually directing them to things like the Brutal lineup and stuff like that. So this might be a nice little change up. Really, I don't actually mind. I'm actually kind of growing out of the Win keyless phase. Because I'm using Apple now. So I actually kind of like having my non-Win keyless keyboards. So whenever I can get a non-Win keyless one now, I ask for non-Win keyless. I managed to order a silver sonnet with a multicolored accent during Mode's Black Friday event. Do you have any recommendations for keycaps for it? Silver, right? Purple Knight would look insane on that. And then if you wanted something super simple, I think go with MTNU. Striker is a good option too. I don't think Striker is bad. A what phase? I don't even remember what I said. Bind it to, non-win keyless. Or I don't know what I said. I had a win keyless phase, and now just like the opposite. I like having a win key. Frostwitch? Frostwitch is good. I think Frostwitch was one of those sets that I feel like got a little too crazy overhyped. Actually, you know what? No, let's leave it. This sounds good, actually, just like this. Ooh, Milan on an all-black keyboard is kind of fucking fire. Do you have a Stargaze set in your collection? I don't think I do. Are you talking about the GMK set? I don't think I do. Alex is ignoring me? Trace, I'm so sorry. What'd you say? Alex, do you think the Zoom TKL is worth in 2024? 200 euro budget? Why wouldn't it be worth it? If it ticks all of your boxes, then go for it. I don't think it has anything to do with being worth it. If there was something like obscenely wrong with it, and I'd be like, yeah, you know what, man, this is not worth your money. But if it clicks all your boxes or checks all your boxes, I would say 100% do you and go for it. You know? Any ideas if there will be in-stock drops of... Oh, no. I'm like 95% positive in my answer on this. So I'm sorry, Mike, if I get this wrong. Manic, thank you so much for the raid. But I am pretty positive any chance of having some extras or in stock might be out the window for that. Because I think all the sets were allotted, but I could be wrong. Maybe there'll be some extras. I have no idea if there'll be like a few extra units sent over just in case. But I think that sold out so fast, all the allotted units might be gone already. That was man. The craze with Darling is crazy. Again, hot take. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't know if it is. Hear me out. The anime wasn't even that good. I just want to say that because I do love the set though. I love Zerp. Zerp's an awesome dude. Met him in person. Great guy. But I will say that the anime was kind of not that great. So I've never understood the hype behind it other than maybe people just like the main character. But the set's cute. I like the pink and red. I do like it. I just don't like the anime. And I don't know if people want it just because like waifu or like they think the anime is like top tier, which again, it's fine. Anime was subpar. New here, as a fan of Mech Show, Darling was pretty rough. I don't even watch that many mech shows, you know, Goo, and I'm telling you, man, like, I even didn't quite understand the hype behind it. Not gonna lie, it's definitely my top 3. That's totally fine. Everyone's gonna be a bit different. That's totally fine. Guys, this is why I like this set so much. Tell me that doesn't look so hot. Like, look at that. Does that look good? Milan fire as usual. I can't wait to build my Milan set. Waiting on what's the one? The MC? Oh, MKC. I remember that board. I think I was told about that one there. The set is in stock and the keyboard's in stock. Actually, I think everything about this board. Actually, cherry black switches might be a a little bit of a tougher time to source. I had to source mine from a site that from overseas, basically. Maybe people have them back in stock, but I think everything about this you can pick up in stock right now, right? I think I ordered some from Divinity. You know what's weird, soldering? No one in Canada at the time of me purchasing my last batch had them. Oh, they have them again at Desk Hero? They didn't have them when I wanted them. When I had to pick them up, I had to order them from someone else. So I looked through all the Canadian vendors at the time. Geo, thanks, dude. All right. Let's see what this... So again, we'll go over the stats. Internal brass weight. Would have liked to see a little bit of that peeking out through the bottom, but for those who want a super, super clean, minimal aesthetic, this is a pretty no frills aesthetic everywhere. Your basic wedge, 3.9 degree typing angle. I'm a big fan of that personally. Decently low front height. I would say this is like my ideal at 18 mil. 18 mil is super comfortable. Nothing going on the bottom. So again, people who like minimal boards, do you. And then very basic back over here with the USB-C aligned to the right side. And for anyone who says it's the left, it's right when you put it this way. You can use different parts in this, so quite nice to see that as well. But let's see, actually, is the alignment of the USB-C a little bit off here? No, it's just my eyes playing tricks on me. Let's see what this sounds like.
Milan the best.
Milan is really nice. Looks simple but classy. Yeah, I think the other like kind of call out feature here is those side bezels. For anyone who's really into that, you know, thicker forehead and chin, $275 price range. Not that bad for in stock, especially for a very simplistic TKL. So let's see what this sounds like. Let's see. Little HJ test for you guys. I'm actually surprised I like the top mount with the alu. It's not bad. Nice backspace, which sometimes on top mounts and just TKLs you get terrible backspaces. Really? I personally think the Alpha spacebar, to me, sounds really nice. Although maybe we can quickly swap that out for something else. If you guys wanted to see what the spacebar sounded with, like, I don't know, a different switch. I wonder too, because I left the screws not attached underneath the spacebar. So I'm wondering if that is affecting the, I guess, sound of the spacebar here in that case. It might sound a little bit more of a thuddier spacebar. But do I have a Nixie I can show you guys? I think I'm all out of Nixies right now. Like, I think I've used every last one of them for people. And I need to relube a bunch. Oh, never mind. I am completely, absolutely lying to you guys. I have one, but I'm not sure this is lubed or not. Cream soda? The cream soda might even be louder. All right. Got a little Nixie in there now. I'll be honest, this sounds like fucking exactly the same. That sounds identical. Absolutely identical to me. You think that's much better? It's still better? To me, that sounds identical. Really? I don't know. Scotty, of course I miss it, dude. I thought it sounded a tiny bit better too. Let me try a different switch entirely. Let me try no, this is the cherry switch. Do I have something else I can quickly pop in there for funsies? So are you guys saying you think it sounds too aggressive? Let's try a JWick switch. This has been lubed and filmed and stuff. So this sounds different to me now. Like that sounds a little bit more flat. I think this board sounds great in top mount. I'm curious to see what it's going to sound like in gasket, because sometimes when you get these dual mount boards, you get one mount that sounds great and one mount that doesn't sound great. Insty, why you? Why you? Of all people. Do you guys notice the sound difference between this? Do you guys hear anything different? Oh, it does sound different. You think this sounds better? Debatable. I don't think it sounds better. I don't know who's being serious and who's not. It sounds deeper, that's for sure. I think the other one where it's a little bit more bright suited me. We'll flip it back and forth for the other sound test too, just so we can cover all our bases. Goddamn Insty. All right, let's do gasket config now. Overall, this is a pretty nice keyboard, I have to admit. Sounds pretty nice. It's not that heavy even with the brass weight on the inside, but the brass weight's definitely doing work by not making this a complete mess in terms of acoustics if it was just all alu. Definitely doing some work there. All right, let's get all these things out of here. I do think I actually did prefer the JWick switch ever so slightly. I was worried that the JWick switch was going to sound like really thin, but it did retain a lot of that poppiness in which I like, and wasn't quite as bright. Kind of suited the rest better. Good call, guys. Bye, Roy. Take care. Goodbye, goodbye. Have a good day, Alex, heading to work. You have a good one, my friend. I personally find a hard time finding KBD 8X Mark II PCBs. I know KBD Fence doesn't have extras anymore. Oh, is that so? I thought they did for some reason. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't check that aspect of it. But we'll check here in a second to see if they do have any in stock. Milan on Milan, it looks nice. Oh, that's true. It is a little bit different there. Oil Kings versus Aqua Kings. Fuck, it has been so long since I've used an Aqua King switch. I really don't remember. Let's see. Can we find any KBD 8X PCBs? KBD 8X PCB Mark II. I do see some on a few different websites, actually. Does KBD Fans have any in stock, though? Maybe they don't. They have Mark II PCBs. So I am seeing some from another vendor. And then it does look like a lot of people are switching their inventory to Mark IIIs. So good note there, good to point out. Some people do have them, some people do not. I wonder, did KBD Fans make that open source for the Mark II PCBs? Oh, I actually do think it might be an open source, or maybe it is open source. I see a PCB page from AIO3. I don't know if you can actually... Yeah, they don't have any more on Kibity fans. So I don't know if you actually wanted to. You could potentially run your own. That'd be interesting. All right, and this is the only bit of the keyboard now where I just don't love this. But I'm not, this is not anything new to me. I do wish there was a better way to kind of adhere these down. But again, not end of world. Just doesn't really add to a build experience here. Just nabbed the last GMK Pharaoh set from KBD fans. Was a killer recommendation, guys. Oh, you know what, man? I didn't even think to recommend you that. For the black and gold set you were looking for. I guess you could do a Galaxy PCB. I guess that would work. I have a weird feeling though there's a bunch of PCBs you can probably get for this, not just KBD 8X. As for plates though, that's where I just don't know. Yeah, they just sit there. That's why I'm saying it's not like the best of designs. And you can see like I've knocked a few. It's more of a build experience thing in which I don't quite care for. But they do that so you can swap between mounting styles. And technically you could even do a top mount with the other thing here too. I think a small adhesive or just some sort of light adhesive would make more sense. I understand their objective here with leaving these. And they do have like a little lip on the inside so these won't slide outwards, obviously. But they do slide inwards, so it's a little awkward. Like I keep knocking one. Lumen key over this. Aesthetically, I prefer this. This hits more of my marks with the aesthetics. But I think if you're looking at pure value, like if you want like I know a lot of people talk about this, so we'll mention it. If you want that like what is going to be the best bang for your buck, like get a lot more stuff inside, you're probably going to get more stuff out of the Lumen key. But the Lumen key is also a very pretty keyboard too. I just prefer the thinner side bezels of this board. Yeah, Space Rush flipped. Insty redeemed that. Insty had to. They're on the same price, same level. Yeah, I think it's also a great comparison too. That is a... Okay, I'm going to flip... I know Insta Redeem flip spacebar, but just for the sake of us looking at this, I am going to switch this back. That is a totally different sound profile. I'll switch it right back for Insta. Okay, I haven't finished typing on it yet. I'm just showing you guys the sound. I actually kind of like both. Usually one's like super clear cut better than the other, I've always found, but... I need to tune the spacebar a little bit more. I haven't quite done all the touch-ups to it. Let's switch back to our cherry switch too, just to get a better sense of what the cherry sounded like. Fuck, I don't... try a different spacebar? Oh, yeah, I went JWK versus Cherry. I don't know which one I like more. I think I slightly, and this might be, I know I saw some people talk about them liking this more in chat, but I kind of did prefer the top mount a little bit, to be honest. I think this is a little bit more well-rounded in terms of its sound profile. Like it has a bassier tone, And then it has like your, I'd say like a pretty full sounding spacebar with pretty full sounding mods. See what it sounds like with Greg. Oh God. I don't know. I do kind of like the top mount a little bit better. But it's like marginally better. Alpha's lacking though? I don't think the alphas are lacking here. Do you guys feel like the alphas are bad? Sounds hollow? I think the top mounted alphas sounded a little bit thinner than these ones here. I actually kind of like these alphas a bit more, but I think just the overall sound signature of the top mount, I do think sounded better. A lot of people have been telling me they prefer like 1 or 2 flex cuts in the PCBs to like round out sound. I will admit the Unicorn has 1 flex cut, and I think that's as much as I'd personally ever want to design a keyboard with, but 2 is never terrible. You're right, it could also be the 2 flex cuts in this causing the alphas to be a little bit not as prominent as we normally see. But I don't think this is a bad sound by any means, nor is it like that typical flex cut deadness. I have no other ways to describe that, I'm sorry. But that's usually what I see with like the flex cut stuff. PCB thickness, I believe this is a 1.6, but let me double check. Technical specs. I believe. I don't want to lie to you. It's a 1.6. It is 1.6, which is great. We love that. Well, I love that. You guys cannot love that. They also have plate files available. So if you guys want to do your own plates, that's readily available on the website to download, which is fantastic. Fucking love that, by the way. And they also have case foam files, it looks like, too. So if you guys want to cut your own plate foam. Yeah, dude, I can't stress enough how much I prefer when people list plate files, and even to some degree some sort of PCB file of some sort. I think it's fantastic when people do that. Absolutely fantastic. I need wob set, but I can't quite decide between Kikobo or GMK. They're both good. I think, me personally, I'm a GMK simp. I like GMK stuff. Let's make that a thing. Time to tape mod. I don't want to tape mod this. I think this sounds great with no tape mod. But make your keyboard. If you're still watching, I think you are. I like this. Turn out this nice little project. 275 in stock board. Don't have to really wait other than for you to ship it out. Thin side bezels. Very simple design, which you can't complain about. Internal weight. My only criticisms would be 3 criticisms. I wish that the PCB had a 7U option baked into the basic PCB and even plate file. I would have loved to see that so you don't have to order 2. And then I would have also really, really liked to see, maybe this is a personal thing, the brass weight somehow peek through the bottom of this case. I don't know if that was like on the table at one point, but I'm a big sucker for non-clear coated brass weights. And since this has a non-clear coated one in the center, or inside rather, that would have been really fucking awesome. And then my last little grievance, not really a big criticism here. I don't love those pieces of gaskets, I guess, kind of floating around on the inside. But again, not the end of the world. That's just more of a building experience thing for me. The mount under the spacebar did hinder my initial thought of it, but you know what though? I have to say this. It didn't seem to be a huge hindrance just by leaving them not screwed in. Didn't seem to have that, like sometimes you get that plate flex where it bounces back and creates like a rattle. Didn't really seem to have that either. So it's nice. The Milan I am borrowing from Brickle, the brass weight inside has already started patina and it's great. Yeah, I love seeing the patina. So in the future though, when you're doing top mounts, typically putting any mounting point under here, usually not the best idea, just for any designer. Usually that's like a no-no, but sounds nice. I like it. Turned out like a nice little board. Solid option for a simple TKL that's not like an outrageous price point for being in stock that features, a CNC case and brass internal weight. Pretty solid option, I'd say. It's a no-no zone. Where's the F13 key? Are you guys F13 people? I could care less personally. I don't know. It's just, I'm never ever gonna use it. So, but yeah, pretty cool board. Touch. Oh my God, Tim. Listen. I don't know if you got the memo today, Tim, but today is the Lord's Day. All right. We don't do sus today. Even Angel came in here and was a good boy today. All right. God damn, man. This or the frog? I didn't really care for the frog. Keep it a buck. I thought the frog bottom row sounded terrible, and I think I've only done one config where it was like okay. I think even from my initial review from the frog, I didn't care for it. Oh shit, we got to flip the spacebar back for Insty. We got to do that, please. Oh my lord, man. Alex, you have to say grace for the keyboard. How do I do that? Getting my first ever custom keyboard, the Zoom 65 in Jan. Any tips for a first time builder? Do take your time on stabilizers. I would say stabilizers, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me or not. Stabs kind of make or break the keyboard. I feel like you can kind of like fuck up switches to a certain degree and they still sound okay, unless you completely overlube them. But stabs kind of like, they make or break everything. So if you're going to take your time to do one thing, like you should take your time to do everything. But if you really want to put some extra effort or just really sit down and really like give it your all, do it to the stabilizers. And pick a set of stabs that are easy to work with. Might be not a great take, and I'm sorry if this offends people, but this is my preference and my recommendation as someone who's built over 1,000 keyboards at this point. I would personally stick with, I think it's the Zoom is a 1.2 mil PCB. Wuche offers 1.2 mil stabs. Probably just go with those, or pick up some standard Durox stabs and make sure you just use the washers on those Durox stabs. If you really want an easy material to work with that's not too costly, I would pick up dielectric grease from Loctite. And then I would also say, yeah, the ones included are fine. You can use those stabs. You still use Loctite. And then I would, again, just take your time, use some 205 where plastic meets plastic and where metal meets plastic. So on the wire, use this guy. If you really want the best of material though, XHT BDZ is the best. It's just a little bit, a lot more costly than Loctite. But 1.2 is kind of a hot take. 1.2 PCBs? 1.2 PCBs are not really my favorite thing in the world. I had coffee when I woke up, and then I drank it all before stream, and I was considering making myself another coffee, but I think I would have been a little bit too all over the place. Smarter child, really. Alex, important question. What are your favorite stabilizers ranked best to worst and why? What is the thickness? Why does the thickness of PCBs matter? So thinner PCBs, the idea is that you're being sold on more of a flexi typing experience, which can be true to some degree if you're using a very flexi plate. I think there's been some argument too with 1.2 millimeter PCBs also just having a, like a more desirable sound signature. I think that's up in the air in preference. But typically what I've noticed is you get a slight bit of a thinner sound, even if there's no flex cuts. It also becomes kind of redundant to have a 1.2 millimeter PCB when you're using something like an aluminum plate that doesn't really move around. And even, maybe this is my own take, but even somewhat to like a PC plate or like I don't know, even like plastic plates, low-key the 1.2 millimeter PCB doesn't even do much there. It just kind of thins out the sound a little bit, and that might be desirable for you. But if you're going with like a super flex cut design 1.2 and you want that, then do your thing. I just personally prefer the 1.6s. I think they also have a little bit more, you'll have an easier time with stabilizers because more things support 1.6 mil. So really just comes down to sound and feel to most degrees. CEM is a little brighter, right? I think that's what we've kind of noticed. I feel like I haven't used enough CEM PCB materials to like give you guys that insight. And I don't want to lie to you guys. I feel like it is brighter, but it's brighter than my future. I feel like it is, but like I don't want to like say it is and be completely wrong. But FR4 has like that middle ground sound profile. Heine made a video on YouTube. Oh, did he? Mostly flexy and sound, or mostly flex and sound. What are his thoughts? I feel like it's brighter than his future. Harsh, bro. Damn. Carbon fiber, by the way. Carbon fiber plates. My hot take with carbon fiber is carbon fiber plates to me sound exactly the same as FR4 plates. Oh, he only showed it. Oh, okay. Didn't give his thoughts. Okay. Fair enough. But that's pretty much the stream though, guys. Actually, is this the video? I will watch this later when I don't have music and stuff on. That is pretty much the stream. I'll be taking a look at the other Maker keyboard, the Alexa, I believe it is. Yes, the Alexa. When am I doing that? Next week? Next Sunday. So we'll be looking then at that particular board. I may use the same switches, but I also may ready up another set of switches for that board. But that's another in-stock board that Maker is going to be carrying. So we'll see until then. But this one here is pretty nice. In stock too, which is beautiful. You know, I know it's a point of controversy for some people, but I still think in-stock boards are great to have. A little tougher for some people to run the in-stock products because of overhead costs and stuff, but it is nice when we can get in-stock products. It makes buying them a little bit more desirable, and you feel safer buying in something in stock. So, because the worst case scenario, if you don't get it in like a month and no one's responding to you, you can just charge back at that point. You don't have to wait like 2 years and have the credit card company scratching their head. So there is a little bit of a safety net for you there. But very cool, guys. I hope this was a good stream. I hope you guys liked this. I will be on tomorrow. Yeah, the Eden's sometime this week, I think. Dude, this week here is going to be jam-packed. I don't even understand how I'm going to do all the streams this week, but we're doing like... I'm going to put a schedule up, but the schedule is not finalized, just so you guys understand. So I think there's going to be like a stream every night. Really good discussions today. I learned a lot from you guys today. You guys have been great. I hope you guys also enjoyed my presence here. Always love you guys. You guys are the best people in the world. Really appreciate you always. Let's go see who we can go... I guess go watch now collectively. Let us go see. Bro, I had the best sleep last night too, by the way, guys. I finally got some good sleep in. It was like the first time in a while. Is no one building keyboards? Oh no, Lamp is. I'm gonna go raid Lamp. Oh, this keyboard's not plugged in. Alright, guys. Enjoy. God, I love Cherry Scratch. It's so nice. Enjoy Lamp stream. Love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Remember, December 24th, we're doing some giveaways. There's something I hope everyone's gonna like, and then something that I hope you guys still like. Anyways, there'll be 2 things we give away. One's pretty awesome. I also think the other thing's pretty awesome. I keep saying this, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Enjoy, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have fun with the rest of your Sundays. Peace out, everybody. Love you.